Hello, welcome to the capacity building program under the National Mission on Libraries. Myself, Dinesh Ranjan Pradhan, working as Scientist B at Implement Center, Gandhinagar. So today we'll be going to discuss about the web resources and discovery tools. So let's first look at the objectives of the model. Okay, so this module will discuss about the necessity of search and discovery tools in libraries so as to provide seamless access to their resources. It will introduce about the basic philosophy of federated search and discovery tools. It will also elaborate the technology and tools and protocols that are used for developing federated search and discovery tools. It will also discuss the disadvantages of federated search solutions and discovery tools as compared to conducting a search directly on the interface of the primary databases. It will also take account of the contemporary federated search solutions and discovery tools that are available commercially or as an open source solution. Okay. At the end of the module, you will be having an understanding of the necessity of federated search and discovery services for libraries. You will understand how they work and standards of technology essential for these service. You will also have a brief idea of the latest trends in search and discovery environment. So let's look at the structure of the model. So in this model, we'll first discuss about what is the necessity for the discovery services, what are the methods of discovery services, and what are the tools and technology used. Then we'll look at the modern discovery services like the web scale discovery services. Then we'll have a look at the Google Scholar, which is an alternative to the web scale discovery services. And lastly, the conclusion at summary. Okay, so let's have a look at the need for an integrated search service in libraries. As you know, the modern libraries are no longer limited to books, journals, and other non-print materials in physical format. Now, the resources are purchased or subscription. The libraries purchase or subscribe to full-text e-journals, e-books, databases, and bibliographic databases, and e-books. So also the libraries work on development of electronic content through institutional repositories consisting of e-prints of research articles, manuscripts, electronic theses and dissertations, institutional publications, digital images, photographs and images, and artifacts of cultural heritage. With the growing number of variety of electronic resources available in the market, libraries are required to look for search and discovery tools that provide seamless and coherent access to all resources that are subscribed by the library, as well as that can be accessible through open access channels. Let's have a definition of resource discovery service. Resource discovery, according to Eddie Clark, resource discovery in libraries means the process of identifying and accessing the information relevant to the user. As defined by Andrew Nagy, a resource discovery system implies the discovery of resources that might be unknown or new to the user. It may be noted that the scope of library collection has been widened from resources available in the library to the resources available on the web. As such, discovery tools available in coherent environment have to be conventional environment have to be reoriented and repurposed not only to include the conventional content but also to include the contents that are available on the web. So the approaches of discovery services in libraries. So basically there are two approaches for discovery services of libraries. One is the federated search approach, and second one is the web search engine approach. So in federated search approach, where there is a search query sent to the multiple databases that are subscribed by the library and selected by the users, and the search is conducted simultaneously on multiple databases, and search results are displayed to the users. The users get an experience of single gateway to all online resources subscribed by an institute. Okay. In case of web search engine approach, the user where the discovery services maintain a centralized database of structured and standardized metadata obtained from the publishers with link to respective full text databases. The subscribers to the discovery services search through pre-harvested metadata. This approach provides a faster access with multiple search and retrieval display options. Okay, so first we'll go to the federated search. Federated search tools present the user with a simple interface, often very similar to what a user would find in web search engines like Google or Yahoo, eliminating the visit to various databases with varied interfaces. Okay, so the federated search tools give an option for the libraries to group various resources to provide a customized subject specific search to the users. It redirects the users directly to the native source searched for accessing the resource. So the challenges of federated searching. To execute a federated searching, one needs a protocol or mechanism to search each of the electronic resources one would like to search. But one protocol does not fit all the federated search environment. Different electronic resources require different mechanisms. The challenge is to figure out how an electronic resource can be searched and have the right mechanism in place for each situation. So let's go to the technologies behind the federated search and discovery services. So the major important search and retrieval protocol that make the foundation of federated search or meta search solutions are the Z39.50, XML gateways, HTTP searching, SRW or SRU, NISO meta search initiative, the generic XML gateway API provided by the specific publishers, and open search. So first let us have a look at the Z39.50. Z39.50 is the oldest of the commonly used search mechanisms. It is an ANSI NISO standard for information storage and retrieval. It is a protocol which specifies data structure and interchange rules that allow a client machine to search databases on server machine and retrieve records that are identified as a result of such a search. It is more complex and more comprehensive and powerful than searching through HTTP. It works under client server environment. Z39.50 needs a Z39.50 client program on one end and a Z39.50 server program on the other end. Z39.50 protocol is used for searching and retrieving bibliographic records across more than one library system. Most integrated library management software provide the searching facility through this Z39.50 protocol. The main problem with Z39.50 is that the very few content providers have implemented this protocol for providing such facility to their resources. But it is the content of the commercial providers that we really want to search through the federated search systems. So in that case, the Z39.50 is not that much used by the content providers, so it's not that much useful for federated search systems. Next one is the proprietary XML gateways. As in Z39.50 protocol, there must be an XML gateway client that transmits search queries and accepts results. This is the part of the XML gateway that is in the federated search system. There must also be an XML gateway server that responds to search queries. This is the part of the XML gateway that is at the content provider end. XML gateways. An XML gateway client sends a search query over the HTTP. The query is packed into the query string of the URL firstly, and then secondly it's packaged into an XML document that is posted to the resources. Regardless of how the query is packaged, the results are sent back in the XML document over the HTTP. The use of XML is at least one of the steps gave rise to the name of this type of protocol as XML gateway. XML gateways provide an alternative mechanism for searching an electronic resources. Every XML gateway is different, and every XML gateway requires special programming or specific configuration. As electronic resource uh, provides implement search mechanisms, they are implementing XML gateways and not Z39.50 servers. Uh, Next one is the SRW and SRU protocol. Search and retrieve via URL, that is SRU, and search and retrieval via web services, that is SRW, are web services based protocols for querying internet indexes or databases and returning search results. The web services are basically of two types. One is REST, that is representational state transfer, and the second one is the SOAP, that is simple object access protocol. The SRW uses SOAP protocol, and the SRU uses the REST protocol for information retrieval. Next one is the NISO Meta Search XML Gateway, that is the commonly known as MXG. MXG is proposed as an alternative to Z39.50 protocol and is based on the SRU protocol. The NISO MXG is the low barrier entry method for content provider to expose their content to meta search application. The NISO Meta Search initiative will identify, develop, and frame the standards and other common understandings that are needed to enable an efficient and robust information environment. The goal of NISO's Meta Search initiative is to enable meta search service provider to offer more effective and responsive services. It aims to provide content providers to deliver enhanced content and protect their intellectual property, for libraries to deliver services that distinguish their services from Google and other free web services. Another technology used in federated searching is HTTP parsing or screen scraping. Actually Z39.50 and SRU or SRW and other methods like XML gateways are implemented by many content providers, but still there are many resources that do not provide this kind of facility for searching their resources. How do we search for those resources? In that case, we use the same technology that a user does. So the federated search system pretends to be a user sitting at a web browser. It simulates the action of a human user by generating URLs that are understood by the electronic resource and then extracting the information of the web pages that are returned. This is possible because almost all the electronic resources are accessible over the HTTP over the web. So at Endeavor, we simply call the HTTP search engine the HSE. It is capable of searching hundreds of websites and databases that are inaccessible via Z39.50 or XML gateways. Some federated search engines use HTTP searching as the preferred search mechanism. Despite its reach, there are issues with HTTP searching. It usually cannot retrieve a large set of metadata in its result sets. If the user interface of an electronic resource changes, then the connector of that specific resource usually breaks. This means that HTTP searching is fragile and requires constant maintenance at the federated search provider end. Okay, the next one is the open search. Open search is a way of for websites and search engines to publish their search result in a standard format and accessible format suitable for syndication and aggregation. The open search is built on XML and supports a mechanism for telling a deep web search engine how to query it, and the search results that are retrieved in a highly structured format. So the search results are easy to process and display by the federated search service. So now after having a look at all the standards, let's have a look at the disadvantages of federated search. Basically, federated search takes to fetch search results from multiple resources it searches. In comparison to it takes a lot of time to search for multiple resources in comparison to other search engines like Google or Yahoo. as the federated search solution are mostly provided on campus networks. For off-campus users, the searching becomes much slower as the users have to pass through authentication procedure of the libraries. Also, with the increase in number of resources subscribed by the libraries or bigger institutions, the time for executing the search through federated search interface increases dramatically. As if you are having a 50 databases, then it will search for all those 50 databases. So it increases the time of execution and the results come very late. Uh, it may also cause information overloading, including irrelevant and marginally relevant information. The other limitation of federated search include the coverage of resources it searches, its inability of inclusion of some of the databases, such as Scifinder Scholar, that require special kind of interfaces. There are also issues with the ability of these interfaces to merge, deduplicate, rank, retrieve results appropriately. With this, so now let's have a look at the web scale discovery service that has come to overcome the disadvantages of federated search solutions. So web scale discovery services, the biggest advantage of search engines over the federated search is the speed with which it retrieves the result. The reason behind the fast retrieval is that the search engine search the indexes instead of the databases directly. To overcome this alternative approach of federated searching is the harvesting service or maintaining a centralized index of relevant sources of information with a normalized metadata schema. Some major standards for harvesting of metadata are Open Archives Initiative Protocol for Metadata Harvesting, commonly known as OAI PMH, METS. While OAI PMH is used for harvesting metadata, METS can harvest both metadata and the objects. With indexing engines like Lucene and Solar etc., a new revolution is coming in the field of library discovery service. In the current era, where most of the contents are born digital, it is possible to create indexed full text journals in these indexers to make them searchable. With these indexers, it is possible to create index of the library catalogs and integrate the index of openly accessible contents like open access journals, journal contents, open access digital books, openly available contents in institutional repository, etc. The searching from indexes retrieves faster results, and the ranking of the search results based on the relevance ranking algorithm, which determines the relevance ranking based on the occurrence of a search term is an advantage for the users of the resource discovery, which is not possible in the case of federated search. So the popular products in web scale discovery are Wildcat Local, then the Summon from Serial Solution, Ebisco Discovery Services, Primo Central from Exlibris. So these are the commonly known popular web scale discovery services. Now let's have a look at an alternative to all these kind of federated search and discovery services, that is the Google Scholar. So Google Scholar has started providing scholarly content to users through Google has started this program through its Google Scholar program. It searches through scholarly full text databases, theses, books, preprints, and other grey literature available in open access. Google uses its link analysis algorithms for relevance ranking of the results. Recognizing the potential and perception of the new generation users, several publishers have signed agreement with Google to supply metadata of their scholarly resources, including books, journals, to Google for enabling better discovery and usage of their resources through Google Scholar. So with the integration of the online databases of most online databases and online books in Google Books program with other information resources, Google Scholar provides almost 100% discovery of the resources. However, discovery of resources is only half of the process, and the users have to return to library again or the library catalog to gain the access to those full text. This is where the library need to position themselves as a critical part of information seeking process. So to minimize this intermediate interface of library OPACs or any other gateways, Google Scholar has come up with its library linking program that provides direct full text linking to library resources through its open URL resolver linking program, that is known as Google Library Links program. However, there are a number of apprehensions regarding the Google Scholar, its scope, coverage, and accuracy of the content, completeness of the data, and focus on specific disciplines and lack of control over it, which is perhaps the most important concern for libraries and all of the users, because we don't know what is the content that is indexed in the Google Scholar and what is its scope, whether something is not available in Google Scholar. So that is not known to anyone. So that is a major most important concern for all the users. So now in conclusion, the very problem of libraries, the discovery of resources by the users has changed with changing library resources and the library users perspective. The federated search solutions have once provided the library to give a single search box to users to come back to the library for access to the scholarly and authentic information. But with the lack of it coverage of the content and resources, the success of those federated search solution has come down. But now with the discovery products, the efforts of libraries are putting effort to get back the users to their libraries through a common search interface like Google. So with the web scale discovery tools, which provides an integrated discovery services for all the resources available in library, whether directly held in the library, subscribed e-content, or print material in the form of catalog or information sources like repository, ETDs held in the library, or other openly available contents. The users who always assume the search box on the library web page for searching everything might now be the right technology. The library are having these technologies to call the users back to their library. Thank you.